Welcome to this lecture. So in today's lecture, we'll have a brief introduction regarding HTML. We'll see how to create the document structure in HTML, the different types of tags in HTML, headings in HTML, paragraphs. We'll also talk about the main tag in HTML, and finally, we'll see how to insert comments in HTML. So moving on to the introduction. The HTML abbreviation stands for Hypertext Markup Language. So let's try to understand the meaning of each and every word here. Hypertext means the text which is written on the web or any text which is available on an electronic device. And markup means the layout or the format. So means that we have such a language which will allow us to organize the text or any element on the web page in some sort of format or some manner or any layout. So this is the reason that it is called as a markup language. And it's the basic building block of the World Wide Web. World Wide Web here is www, and generally it is referred to as the interconnected documents that we see on internet. So HTML describes the outer layout or the structure of the web page, very important point. And it consists of a series of elements. These elements can be specified, can be referred to as the tags. Generally, we call them as opening tags and the closing tags. Now, HTML was originally developed by Tim Berners-Lee in 1990, and he is also known as the father of the web. We have the latest version of HTML, that is HTML5. So before HTML5, we had other versions as well, but since 2014, we have been using this HTML5 version of HTML. So moving on to the document structure of HTML. A document structure consists of a markup tag. So any HTML document or any HTML file that you see always consists of a collection of markup tags. So this markup tag is further composed of a keyword which is surrounded by angle brackets. So as you can see here that we have this less than sign, and you also have the name of the tag and then a greater than sign. So this whole thing makes up the opening tag. Further we have again less than sign, then you have a slash, the name of the tag and a greater than sign. So this complete pair makes up the opening and closing tags, and whatever the content is required will be coming in between these closing and opening tags. So this is the root element in HTML. So this root element is responsible for containing all the elements inside your HTML file, generally referred to as a complete container, also called as the root element. Then we have the head tag. The head tag consists of important information regarding your web page, that is the metadata. Metadata means that the data which is for your document, which is not visible to the user. So some important information is available in this head tag which is not visible to the user. But we have one important thing here, that inside the head tag we have a title tag. A title tag is the title of your web page that generally appears in the browser inside the tab. Let's say, for example, if you are opening Facebook. So it will show you the title as Facebook, welcome to Facebook, login, sign up, or whatever. So that is called as the title tag. Finally, we have the body tag, and every content, the whole structure will be defined inside the body tag. All the elements, any kind of text, images, tables, everything will be inside the body tag. So So let's have a look at the different types of tags in HTML. There are two types of tags, paired tag and unpaired tags. So what is a paired tag? If any HTML tag has a separate opening and a separate closing tag, then such kind of HTML tag will be called as a paired tag. So we already have discussed in the HTML document structure also that any tag which is opening and if it's closing, that will be a paired tag. But opposite to this, we also have something called as unpaired tags, where if any HTML tag has both opening and closing tags just in a single tag, then such kind of HTML tags can be called as the unpaired tag. So further in the upcoming lectures, we will talk about the unpaired tags as well. So let's see how we can insert headings inside the HTML. So the H1 till H6, these tags are used to define the HTML headings. So in total, we have 6 kinds of HTML headings. So this is H1. H1 is also paired tag, as you can very clearly see that it is consisting of opening H1 and the closing H1 tag. So this is our very first heading and the biggest heading. Second one is H2. Then we have H3, H4, H5 and H6. So when we will implement it as a practical, you will be very clearly able to see the difference in sizes of all these headings, right from H1 till H6. Next is the paragraphs. The P tag is used for inserting any paragraph into your HTML file. And this is how we write down the paragraph tag. Again, this is also consisting of opening and closing tags, means that this is also paired tag. So some content that we write in between in these P tags, opening and closing tags, will become our paragraph. Now, the next one is HTML main tag. So the main tag specifies any main content of your document, and mostly it comes only once, means it doesn't come more than once inside your document. Only one main element will be there in your document. How we can insert comments in HTML? So comments are some text or any explanation that you want to write for your code. So this is generally not visible. Actually, they are not visible to the user. They are always ignored by the browser. So means that anything written between these tags will be ignored by the browser. And this is how we write down the comments. We have the angle bracket, an exclamation mark, and hyphens. Again, hyphens we have. Again, an angle bracket. So finally, moving on to the practical part. So before we start the practical, it's very important for us to know that we need an editor in this called the VS Code that you can download online, and it is freely available. Now, we need to create one folder. In this folder, you can name this folder as, let's say, HTML. I've created a folder, so whatever the programs that we will be doing so far in this complete course, we are going to include in this folder. Now we need to open this folder from the VS Code, the software by Microsoft. You can go to File and then open your folder. So my folder is already available inside another folder on desktop. I'm opening this folder, HTML. You need to select the folder. So after it has opened the folder, now we can start creating files in this. So you can click on this option, a new file option, Inside this folder, this is the name of the folder. Click on this option, new file. And you can name it anything. Let's say I'm writing here first.html because this is our very first program, first.html. So after this, it is going to create our very new and very first file. So you can see that our first file is created. Now you can start writing the HTML document structure here. So in order to write down the HTML structure, we can start with the root element. So I'll start by writing HTML, and you can see I have automatically got the opening tag and the closing tag. Similarly, after this, I'll write down the head tag. I got the opening and closing tag. So this way, you will also come to know that whether a particular tag is an opening tag or a closing tag. So inside this, I'm going to include the title tag as well. So let's say I'll write here my first HTML document. My first HTML document. Or let's say we can write my first web page is much better. My first web page. So inside this head, we have included the title. Now we have to include the body, that is the actual content that will show on the web page. So we'll now see that how to execute this file. For execution, there are two different ways. You can go to the extensions. So when you go to the extensions here, I'll minimize this a little. So you can see that my VS Code is showing extensions. Two different ways. One is you can install one extension, just right here, live server. So we can wait a little because it has to fetch the data from the extensions. Right. So as you can see that live server is visible. I click on this. So once you have clicked on this, you will be able to see an install option. I'm having uninstall because I'm already having it. I have already installed it. So that is why in my case this is uninstall. So you can install this, and automatically, as you can see that there is one go live option. So it will automatically open your browser and you will be able to see the changes in real time. This is one way. Another way is you can install another extension. That is, you can write here open in browser. You will get such kind of option probably, and you can see that you can use this open in browser option. Both are correct, but live server is much better because you will be able to see the changes in real time. Now I'll tell you that how you can use this live server in order to execute the program, in order to check the output. So as you can see that this is my VS Code HTML document at the left hand side, and at the right hand side I'm having my very first web page. So you can see that the title is clearly visible, my first web page. So this important information should be conveyed in the browser tab. Now how you need to execute. So whenever you have opened your folder, you have created some file, and after writing down the code, you want to open it in live server. But before that, please install it in your systems using VS Code. So you see this option port 5500. You can click on this option. Once it will dispose and it will show server is now offline, you can again go live, and you can see that it shows server is started at port number 5500, and now my HTML5 has opened in real time. So means now whatever the changes I'll make, it will be visible here. So we started from the basic tags such as the heading tags. So I'll start inserting the heading tag. So this is my H1, and I'll write, let's say, lovely professional university. Your live server will not show any changes unless you have saved it. but I'm having the feature of auto saving in VS Code. So now let's have a look. You can see that the web page is loading now. So after it has loaded, it will be able to it will be able to show the changes to you. You can see that this is the very first heading of, of, of HTML. Now moving on to the next one. So next H2, right here H2, and yes, I have to insert H2, right. So I can write here again, lovely professional university. So you can see that it has already updated. This is our second heading. Now moving on to the third. In heading 3, we write H3. So inside H3, I'll write again, lovely professional university. Why I'm using the same text? The reason is so that you can identify the difference in their sizes. Then we have H4. Again, I'll write down the same text. You can also have a look at the right hand side that our output is being displayed in real time. Then we have H5, heading number 5, lovely professional university. Okay, lovely professional, some mistake here, yeah, university. And then finally we have H6. I'll scroll this a little. H6 heading. So just have a look that in the browser, this is how the different headings right from H1 till H6 display. And you can see that there is a lot of difference between the H1 and the H6. So it depends on your requirement, what you need on your web page. So after the heading tags, we'll now insert one paragraph. A paragraph consists of p tag, opening and closing tags. So this is also, you can say this is also a paired tag. I'll include one paragraph here. This is my first HTML class. And further, I can include multiple paragraphs. And I'll write here P. Yeah, okay, right. So this is my first HTML class, and I can write I am studying in LP. So have a look at the output. So this is how our first paragraph, this is my HTML class, has been displayed. So our server is working and now it has displayed. So I can zoom in a little for you so that you can see that this is how the paragraph is being displayed. And paragraphs always display in the next line. Just like heading tags, every heading displays in the next line. So paragraphs also display in the next line. After inclusion of paragraphs, now we can move further. We'll see how we can include a main tag in our HTML document. For simplicity, I'm removing all these tags for the timing. Let's just stick with the first two headings. And the main tag, let's say I'll write here main. And inside this main tag, I'll be including my complete content right here. So I have now dragged all the content inside the main tag. What is the main tag? It's a tag that has to be unique in your document and it should not contain any material which is repeated across your full website. Because your website may consist of multiple web pages. So that is why we are using a main tag here. Apparently, you can see that it will not show much, it won't show any difference. So that is to include that this is your main part of your web page. After this, we'll see how to insert comments in HTML. So first of all, we'll see how we can manually insert the HTML comment. So I'll just make it this way. So these are two headings. These are my paragraphs. And this is my main tag, and I can include it here, right? Now, as we discussed previously, that comments are any explanation that you want to include in your code. So definitely it's not for the browser. It's not even for the user. It's for the developer. It's for your understanding. Maybe let's say this is my first HTML class, and I want to know that what is the purpose of this H1 tag. So I can include it here that this is used for uh, including heading. This is used for including heading. But you can see that this thing is also being displayed in the browser. So we will include this as a comment. So there is one shortcut in VS Code. You just need to press, I shall write here, Control plus slash. So using Control plus slash, you can comment your code. So I'll use the same here, Control slash, and my if I come in the next line, then I'll be able to comment it this way. So you can see that it has changed the color coding. In VS Code, the comments change to green color. But I'll also tell you that how you can include a comment manually, since we may not sometimes know what is the shortcut. So you should know that how actually is a comment being displayed, how a comment is being displayed. So you need to use less than sign and an exclamation, hyphen, hyphen, and that's it. Comment is now ready, but you also need to close, because if you do not close, then your whole code right after this opening tag of the comment, it will be commented. So you can see it is not displaying the paragraphs anymore. So just till here, you need to use slashes. Sorry, this is these are the hyphens and include one angle bracket. And you can see that this is now commented our code, which is not at all visible in the browser, because that is just for my understanding, that I want to know what is the purpose of this tag. So the real world developers also use the comments. There are so many comments being used in any website. We are done with the practical part for this week. These are certain references from where you can study the different tags which have been taught in this lecture. Now, task for this week. So week 1 assignment, you need to go to this link www.freecodecamp.org/learn 2022 and responsive web design. So in this, you should be able to complete the first 5 steps of Learn HTML by building a cat photo app. So I'll just give a brief demonstration how to go to this website and where to click and what are the different tasks that you are required to do. As you can see, we have already opened this link here. So inside this is how the website looks like. So here you have to come, responsive web design. So in this, there are certain courses where the very first course, Learn HTML by building a cat photo app. The first 5 steps have to be completed for this week. So whatever the tags have been taught in this lecture, in our lecture 1, these tags will help you out in solving the steps mentioned here for this cat photo application.